Prince Louis is clearly a delightful character. He's full of energy, he's full of beans. He clearly finds these photo opportunities very exciting.
For years, people around the world have loved Prince Louis for his bright smile and playful nature during royal events. As the youngest child of Prince William and Princess Catherine, he has always brought joy to the royal family. But now, Buckingham Palace has confirmed a heartbreaking update that has left everyone deeply worried. The news has spread quickly across the world, leaving royal fans searching for answers. So what is this news about, and how will it affect the young prince? Join us as we uncover the truth behind Buckingham Palace's shocking announcement about Prince Louis. Heartbreaking update about Prince Louis. Whenever the royal family makes headlines, the world listens, sometimes expecting controversy, as in the case of Prince Andrew and the scandal that caused him to give up his royal titles, and other times looking for moments of joy, like the coronation of King Charles III that brought millions together in celebration. But the latest news about Prince Louis has touched hearts for an entirely different reason, one that highlights the quiet growth and charm he's already showing at such a young age. The story began when 7-year-old Prince Louis received his first ever invitation to take on a royal role. The royal was an offer for him to become the honorary patron of the World Conquer Championships. This offer was meant to be a milestone for the young prince, but what happened next changed everything. Keep watching to find out more. For those unfamiliar, the World Conquer Championships is a long-standing British event that celebrates the traditional autumn game of playing with conkers. The game shows the shiny brown seeds that fall from horse chestnut trees. It's a family-friendly event, and it also raises funds for charities that help people with sight loss. When the organizers heard that Louis loved collecting conkers, they thought it would be a perfect connection. They decided to write to the Prince and Princess of Wales, inviting their young son to become an honorary patron of the championships. It was a kind and light-hearted gesture, the sort of story the public loves, one that links the fun of childhood with good causes. Many might have expected the palace to accept the invitation, especially since royal patronages are such a long-standing tradition within the family. But what happened next surprised everyone. Buckingham Palace responded with a message that was both polite and full of humor. They thanked the organizers warmly for their thoughtful offer, but explained that Prince Louis was busy conker trading on his studies. The clever wordplay made many people smile, showing a glimpse of the light-hearted side of royal life. Yet behind the joke, there was a meaningful decision. Prince William and Princess Catherine had chosen to politely decline the offer. Their reason was simple. They want their children to grow up as normally as possible. Even though Prince Louis is high in the line of succession, his parents have always made it clear that they want him, along with his brother George and sister Charlotte, to have a grounded childhood filled with school, play, and family time, rather than public duties. Prince Louis's love for conkers first came to light when the Princess of Wales mentioned it during a public visit. She said that their home, Adelaide Cottage, was often full of conkers he had collected. The conkers was hidden under pillows, in drawers, and even inside his bed. She laughed as she described how Louis used his toy trucks to carry them around, turning a simple hobby into endless fun. It was a glimpse of a little boy who, despite being royal, loves the same small joys as any other child. By the time autumn came to an end, the young prince's conker collection had nearly taken over the house. At that same time, he was preparing for his half-term break from Lambrook School, the same school attended by his siblings. There were also rumors that the Wales family might soon move to a new home, Forest Lodge, which would give the children even more space to play outdoors. The palace's response to the conker patronage offer reflected that family-focused lifestyle. For Prince William and Princess Catherine, childhood isn't something to rush through. They believe their children should have the freedom to grow, learn, and play without the heavy expectations of royal life pressing down too soon. But while the decision made sense, it also sparked a wave of reflection. Many people pointed out that Louis wouldn't have been the first young royal to be linked with a charity role. In fact, history shows that members of the royal family have often been introduced to service at a young age. Prince William and Prince Harry, for example, both learned about public duty from their parents. Princess Diana made sure her sons saw real life beyond the palace walls. She took them to hospitals, shelters, and community centers, teaching them empathy and kindness through experience rather than lectures. William often spoke later about how those visits shaped him, how watching his mother talk to people with gentleness and compassion showed him what service really means. But it did not stop with them. Their father, now King Charles III, also started young. When he was just 9, he was formally named Prince of Wales, and though it was a symbolic title, it marked the start of his long public journey. As a teenager, he began representing Queen Elizabeth II at events and developed a passion for causes like the environment and youth development. Those early lessons would later define his life's work. Other royals followed similar paths. Princess Anne, known for her strong work ethic, began taking part in official duties while still a teenager. By the time she was 20, she became president of Save the Children. And she didn't treat it as a title on paper. She threw herself into the work, visiting projects around the world. Decades later, she remains one of the most active members of the royal family. Prince Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, had a quieter introduction to public life. While he often accompanied his parents to events when he was young, he took time to find his own direction. Later, he became involved in organizations that matched his personal interests in education and the arts. His early experiences observing royal duty helped him understand how to connect his hobbies with meaningful public work. Even going further back, royal children in earlier centuries were often given honorary titles long before they were ready for real responsibilities. In the 80s, Prince Albert Edward, later King Edward VII, received numerous honorary appointments as a boy, mostly symbolic roles meant to show royal support. Adults handled the actual work, but the titles helped reinforce the royal family's connection to society. Over time, the approach to raising royal children has changed. The focus shifted from giving them titles early to letting them learn through experience and maturity. Instead of being placed in the spotlight too soon, they are gradually introduced to what it means to serve others by watching, learning, and understanding the people behind the ceremonies. That change is clear in how Prince William and Princess Catherine are raising their 3 children. They've often said they want George, Charlotte, and Louis to understand the world before representing it. Their public appearances are carefully chosen, and each child is slowly introduced to royal duties in age-appropriate ways. Turning down the Conquer patronage might seem like a small thing, but it shows a big part of their philosophy. They want Louis to enjoy his early years, to focus on school, friends, and simple childhood moments before carrying the weight of royal expectations. It's a reminder that, even in the royal family, being a child still matters, and while the story made people smile, it also earned respect. Many saw it as a sign that the next generation of royals will grow up with a stronger sense of balance, one that makes them aware of duty, but not defined by it too early. In a family that has faced its share of pressure, this gentle approach feels refreshing. And now, as the young prince continues his journey, many are curious about what's next for him and his siblings. How are Prince William and Princess Catherine really preparing their children for future royal duties? Stay tuned, the answers may surprise you. Princess Catherine and William's parenting style. Now, to understand how important Prince William and Princess Catherine's approach truly is, we have to look at how royal children were raised in the past and how those lessons shape the changes we see today. Take Prince Edward, the youngest son of Queen Elizabeth II, and Prince Philip. From a young age, Edward was expected to fit into a very structured royal pattern. He was given public roles early, long before he had the chance to fully grow into himself. The pressure to represent the crown was immense, and while he handled much of it with grace, the expectations placed on him were often overwhelming. Prince Edward's brief time in the Royal Marines, which ended when he resigned just months into training, was a reminder of how difficult it could be for royals to balance personal identity with public duty. The truth is, those early roles often didn't help young royals absorb the pressure. They only magnified it. There was little room for mistakes, and every misstep became a headline. For some, it led to public scrutiny and personal struggle. Over time, this pattern became clear to the next generation. It showed that being thrown into royal life too early could do more harm than good. That is one of the reasons why Prince William and Princess Catherine have chosen a completely different path for their own children. They have seen firsthand how early exposure to royal duties can weigh on a person, especially before they're ready to handle it. They want George, Charlotte, and Louis to grow up strong, kind, and confident, not anxious or pressured. William and Catherine's parenting philosophy is built around one clear idea: royalty should never come before childhood. Their home is not just a royal residence, it's a safe space filled with laughter, routine, and togetherness. When the family moved from Kensington Palace to Adelaide Cottage in Windsor, it wasn't simply a change of scenery. It was a deliberate step toward privacy and peace. There, the children can run, play, and explore without constant cameras or crowds. For George, Charlotte, and Louis, home is where they can simply be kids. Catherine once said that a stable childhood gives children the roots to grow and the wings to fly, and that belief is visible in everything they do. One of the most talked about choices the couple has made is their no-phone rule. During an interview for The Reluctant Traveler with Eugene Levy, Prince William explained that their children don't have mobile phones yet because he and Catherine want them to enjoy real life, not screen life. It may sound small, but this decision says a lot about how seriously they take modern parenting. Both William and Catherine know exactly how invasive media attention can be. They grew up in the spotlight themselves, and William, especially, witnessed the cost of constant public scrutiny. He remembers what it was like watching his parents, King Charles and Princess Diana, live under that kind of attention. Those experiences shaped his perspective as a father. Today, he's determined to give his children the protection and peace he once wished for. So, at Adelaide Cottage, evenings are sacred, phones are put away, and the family gathers around the dinner table. It's a time for talking, laughing, and sharing stories about their day. Louis, the youngest, is known to fill these dinners with his humor and boundless energy. His playful nature often lightens the room, reminding everyone that joy lives in the small, ordinary moments. Princess Catherine has always spoken about the importance of being present. She believes that children grow best when they feel seen and heard, not when they're entertained by screens or surrounded by formality. Through her years of work in early childhood development, she has emphasized that strong emotional bonds in the early years shape a person's confidence for life. That's a lesson she practices daily at home. William and Catherine's parenting style also stands out because of how hands-on they are. Unlike older generations, who often relied heavily on nannies, William and Catherine prefer to raise their children personally. Prince William drops the kids off at school, attends meetings with teachers, and helps with homework whenever he can. Other parents at Lambrook School often describe him as approachable and grounded, just another dad doing the school run. For Catherine, motherhood and her royal role are deeply connected. She has found a way to blend both worlds, taking the lessons she learns through her charity work and bringing them home. For example, she often speaks to experts about how creativity and outdoor play help children express their emotions. At home, that means afternoons spent in the garden, building dens, drawing, or collecting conkers, one of Louis's favorite activities. Even during challenging times, such as Catherine's recovery from illness, the family's bond has remained strong. Louis's joyful spirit helped keep the home bright, showing that even in difficult moments, love and laughter are powerful sources of healing. But William and Catherine's vision for their children goes beyond keeping them happy. They want them to understand the world outside royal walls. William has said in the past that he wants his children to see the real world, not just the royal world. That belief is deeply rooted in the lessons he learned from his mother, Princess Diana. She took him and Prince Harry to visit hospitals, shelters, and charities so they could meet people facing real challenges. William is now doing the same with his own children, quietly and without fanfare. Whenever possible, he and Catherine involve George, Charlotte, and Louis in small acts of kindness. They've taken them to community centers, hospitals, and local events where they can listen, learn, and understand that everyone's story matters. These experiences teach them that being royal is not about titles or status, it's about service, compassion, and respect. William's openness as a father has also touched many people. In a heartfelt interview, he once said that if any of his children came out as gay, he would love and support them completely. His only concern, he said, would be how the public might react. That honesty showed the world that William and Catherine are not raising their children to meet an image. they're raising them to be kind, confident, and true to themselves. Together, William and Catherine have redefined what it means to grow up royal. They have built a home grounded in empathy, where conversations about feelings are as normal as discussions about school or friends. Their approach blends tradition with modern understanding, a balance that past generations rarely achieved. But that's not all. Meanwhile, their choices stand in quiet contrast to Prince Harry and Meghan's parenting style in the United States. Harry has spoken many times about how the lack of affection and communication during his own childhood affected him. He once said that he wants to protect his children, Archie and Lilibet, from public pressure. He often speaks about breaking the cycle of pain he experienced growing up. Both families share the same goal: to give their children love, stability, and the freedom to grow at their own pace, even if they go about it in different ways. As for Prince Louis, the youngest of the Wales children, his path remains open and full of possibilities. Unlike George, who will one day be king, or Charlotte, who holds an official royal position, Louis is free to simply enjoy being a child. His parents encourage his curiosity, his laughter, and his kind heart. They want him to explore, to learn, and to find out who he truly is before any titles define him. This new way of raising royal children is more than a parenting choice. It's a quiet revolution within the monarchy. It shows how far the royal family has come from the rigid expectations of the past. William and Catherine are shaping not just the next generation of royals, but the kind of people those royals will become: compassionate, thoughtful, and real. And as Prince Louis continues to grow, loved and guided by two of the most modern royals of our time, one question remains: what does the future hold for this bright, spirited young prince as he begins to step into his own story? Stay with us, because this is where the story gets even more interesting. A glimpse into the future of Prince Louis. Predicting the future of anyone is one of the hardest things to do, but in Prince Louis's case, small clues have already begun to appear. What makes it easier is that, through his words and interests, he has started to show who he might become one day. According to Princess Catherine, her youngest son has already expressed a fascination with airplanes, and has even said that he would love to be a fighter pilot when he grows up. The idea might sound playful for a 7-year-old, but it carries a deeper meaning for the royal family. After all, both his father, Prince William, and his late grandfather, Prince Philip, served in the military. Prince William trained as a search and rescue helicopter pilot and later worked with the East Anglian Air Ambulance, while Prince Philip's naval career began during World War II. So when Louis spoke of wanting to become a fighter pilot, it wasn't just a child's dream. It felt like a small echo of the family's long tradition of service. Catherine mentioned this during a school visit, sharing that her youngest is fascinated by planes and loves to build them from blocks and toys. She said with a smile that Louis's eyes light up whenever he hears one in the sky. Those who heard her could picture the lively boy running outside, staring upward, his imagination flying just as high. For many, that little detail revealed how his curiosity and adventurous spirit already connected with the royal legacy he was born into. But despite his playful dreams, Louis has also shown a surprising level of maturity for his age. One moment that revealed this side of him came during the 80th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day. The Wales family joined the commemorations to honor the veterans who fought in World War II. Usually, royal events featuring the young prince bring light-hearted moments. His cheeky waves, wide grins, and funny faces often become the highlight of the day. But this time, something was different. Standing beside his parents and siblings, Louis appeared calm, focused, and respectful. Cameras caught him quietly watching the ceremony, glancing occasionally at his father as if trying to copy his posture and expressions. It was a small but meaningful shift. Many who watched said it felt like the moment Prince Louis began to understand what it truly means to be royal, not in the titles or ceremonies, but in the sense of respect, duty, and awareness of history. Royal experts later noted how Prince Louis mirrored Prince William's behavior throughout the event. Every now and then, Louis would straighten his back or lower his gaze just as his father did. It was subtle, but powerful, a sign that he's starting to look to William not only as his father, but also as a guide. After the formal ceremony, though, his natural warmth returned. He smiled brightly, waved to the crowd, and chatted happily with veterans. Those cheerful gestures showed that he hasn't lost the childlike joy that makes him so loved by the public. In that single day, he managed to balance seriousness with charm, something many older royals take years to learn. It proved that the lessons he's learning at home are working. Lessons not about acting royal, but about being kind, aware, and present. Another clear sign of Louis developing maturity came during the coronation of King Charles III. The ceremony was long, formal, and full of centuries-old tradition, yet Louis handled it with surprising calm for a 7-year-old. Sitting beside his sister Charlotte, he quietly observed the proceedings, absorbing the gravity of the occasion while occasionally glancing at his parents for guidance. Even in a room filled with historic pomp and countless spectators, Louis remained composed. Cameras caught him following the order of events, from the choir's songs to the elaborate processions. And while he still showed moments of playful curiosity, it was clear he understood this was a special moment. Once again, he was seen straightening his posture to mirror his father, Prince William. For many, it was a subtle yet meaningful sign that he was learning to balance childlike wonder with the decorum expected of a young royal. But it did not end there. Even in his youngest years, Louis has shown genuine compassion in ways that feel natural, not staged. On one occasion, during a charitable outing with his mother, Princess Catherine, at a baby bank in Maidenhead, the young prince quietly selected a soft toy to donate. While other children might view such an event as a photo op, Louis treated it as something meaningful. A volunteer asked the children to choose a gift that could bring joy to someone else. And from Louis's box, a cuddly toy koala emerged, a reminder of the family's ties to Australia and a reflection of his thoughtful nature. Another heartwarming moment came at a walk after the Christmas Day church service at Sandringham. Louis accepted a small gift from a well-wisher, a headband with a cheerful design, and politely said, "Thank you." It was a brief interaction, but it captured two important sides of him: the playful child, eager to enjoy a moment, and the respectful young person aware of others' gestures. One of the most touching glimpses of Prince Louis's empathy came during King Charles III's recovery from cancer treatment in early 2024. The young prince reportedly gave his grandfather a playful yet meaningful gift, a pink T-Rex tie, reflecting Louis's well-known love of dinosaurs. Although it was a small moment, the gesture was deeply symbolic. It showed that Louis understood in his own childlike way that his grandfather needed support and cheer. During the visit, observers noted the warmth in the king's reaction, a gentle smile that mirrored the care behind Louis's choice. It was not staged or scripted. It was a natural expression of affection and thoughtfulness. Moments like these hint at a growing sense of compassion in Louis, a young prince learning that kindness and consideration for others are just as important as royal tradition or public appearances. In these small gestures, donating a favorite toy, greeting well-wishers with sincerity, Louis is showing that empathy can coexist with youthful delight. He hasn't lost his love of play, his cheeky grin, or his enthusiasm for fun, but alongside that is a budding awareness of others. He waves when he wants to, laughs when he's happy, but he also listens, observes, and responds kindly. While his future role is still open to possibilities, Louis's character is already hinting at a meaningful one. He blends warmth with attentiveness, and in a world where royal children often face pressure to perform, Louis appears to be quietly growing into someone who doesn't just appear good, but genuinely cares. That matters perhaps just as much as any title. What do you think about the latest update? Were his parents right to turn it down? What do you think about Prince Louis and his growing compassion? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, click the next video on your screen. You won't want to miss it.